Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. In the Daily Mail, Richard Eden reports Meghan's launch of her first product, a jar of strawberry jam, is doing great business for King Charles. Meghan's publicity stunt, in which she sent jars of her American Riviera Orchard product to 50 friends and influencers, has encouraged royalists to purchase the King's jam instead. So many of them have done so that Highgrove Organic Strawberry Preserve was sold out, according to the retailer's website yesterday, even though 340-gram jars cost £6.95 each. Eden adds that the King's profits are donated to royal charities. Meghan's profits will go to herself. Jack Royston, the chief royal correspondent for Newsweek, has pointed out that Harry's decision to produce a series focused on the elite sport of polo may create tension among his fan base, which largely consists of young progressives who tend to be anti-rich and anti-elite. Discussing the implications of Harry's choice, Mr. Royston said, "It's interesting because it's a step back towards royal life for him. Polo is a big part of the royal family's way of doing things. They all play polo. Polo is a very elite sport, so it could create a little bit of tension within the fan base." Royal author Phil Dampier tells The Sun he believes Harry may never live in the UK again and would not be missed. Dampier said, "As always with Harry, a lot can be read into his actions. Being ousted from Frogmore Cottage wounded him deeply." Charles and William knew it had to be done to emphasise Harry and Meghan were outside the firm, but he probably still thought he could keep a base here. Now he's shown he accepts his life is in the US. Royal photographer Arthur Edwards added that Harry's list log of the US as his residence is another sign that he's really cut ties with the royal family. "I've always said that I thought Prince Harry would one day come back here and work for the royal family. It now looks pretty certain that he's made his mind up that America is home and that's where he wants to stay. One day he may even apply for citizenship. That way he'll have to give up his title, the Duke of Sussex." Harry's coming close to 40 now. He's no child anymore. There is the complicating factor of potential deportation based on some revelations in Spare. Royal author Tom Quinn said, "Harry will be massively regretting his ignorance and naivety as the court case looms that could lead to real difficulties for him. It's another example of where royals always rely on other people to make decisions for them, because when they make decisions for themselves, they often get it wrong, and Spare was very much Harry trying to be his own man and messing up." Quinn also tells The Mirror, Meghan is really worried that her children will have no real relationship of any kind with their cousins George, Charlotte and Louis. Meghan loves the idea of having a big, happy family and hates it when people describe her childhood and her family as dysfunctional. She's terrified history is going to repeat itself. A friend of the couple, one of Meghan's few aristocratic friends from her time in the UK, told me Meghan does miss some aspects of life in the UK and worries that her children will blame her if they never get to see their cousins, and feel as adults they may have been deprived of what might have been a fun and meaningful existence in the UK as working royals. Socialite Lady Victoria Hervey told GBN, "It is sad in a way that the children aren't going to meet their cousins regularly as they grow up together and the rest of the family members. I'm sure that as they get older, they'll probably resent the fact that they didn't have that. Because there'll be those family photos, right, at the family gatherings, and where's Lilibet and Archie? They're not in the pictures." Royal commentator Lizzie Cundy told GB News, "Thomas Markle Jr. is upset with Meghan. She's treated their father appallingly, has not been in touch with him at all since his heart attack and strokes. Meghan's relationship with her family has been strained for years, with the TV cooking show host reportedly not having spoken to her brother in more than a decade. Meanwhile, Samantha Markle launched a libel lawsuit against Meghan in 2021 after Meghan said she was an only child in her interview with Oprah Winfrey. However, the case was dismissed in March by a district court judge in Tampa, who stated that Samantha failed to identify any statements that could support a claim for defamation. Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, has also been openly critical of his daughter in various TV interviews. The pair have been estranged since Meghan's 2018 wedding to Prince Harry, with Thomas accusing Meghan of being cruel and not allowing him to see his grandchildren, Archie and Lilibet. In September 23, Thomas appeared on Good Morning Britain renewing his pleas to see his grandchildren. He said, "I'm heartbroken and very upset. This is a cruel thing to do to a grandparent, to deny the right to see a grandchild." Thomas has faced a number of health issues, including a heart attack that caused him to miss Meghan and Harry's wedding. Despite the ongoing family feud, Thomas maintains that he has done nothing wrong and that there is no excuse for treating me this way. No excuse to treat grandparents that way. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Body expert Judy James analysed Harry's recent Travelist video for The Express and said, if the polo and jam-making heralded a change of brand for Harry and Meghan, this message by Harry suggests that while his wife immerses herself in the rather soft world of cookery, preserves and friendship, hugging and throwing affectionate smiles at everyone who crosses her path, Harry is shifting in the opposite direction as a trophy-clutching, sporting, hard-hitting tough guy on the world stage. He decides to deliver this scripted message to camera in the style of an angry authoritarian. Harry begins with his mouth pursed in prim annoyance, and when he uses the word ensure, his right hand comes up in an emphatic baton gesture while his eyebrows raised to create that look of authority. He bites at his words despite the fact that his eyes can be seen scanning a running script, and his head tilts to hint at the annoyance or frustration with anyone not yet on message. In that video, Harry suggested, communities are the beating heart of travel, and we must do better by the people who are the custodians of the places we visit. Recently, Harry and Meghan visited Miami, where Harry played polo with locals and Meghan took a photo with local resident Serena Williams. Harry is a man of his word. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or your app of choice. Hey, leave 5 stars on Apple if you like the show, or leave us a review. We'll read them out here. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue and good times.